Eugene Levity in 6th place, Tom Tunstall 7th, and Kieran Murphy in 8th. That's the championship after 2 weeks ago. This is the front row: Stuart Easton, Leon Camier, Jay Vincent and Craig Jones. And row 2, Eugene Levity, one to watch most definitely. Jamie Robinson, he was the first guest I ever had in our Grand Prix show. He was 15, going back to 1992. There you go. Cal Crutchlow and Tom Sykes. That rounds out row 2. Row 3, Kieran Murphy, Perariba. Now, I wouldn't have thought the Spaniard would be this far back. Rob Frost, that was the teammate to Perariba last year in the MSS Kawasaki team. Paul Young, likeable Australian thereabouts as well. Simon Andrews, former British Supersport winning rider as well on a Honda this year, not the Yamaha from last year. John Crockford, local track, he loves it here, so good to see Crocker's back as well in 14th place. Steve Allen, big off yesterday for the Scot on the other MSS Kawasaki. They really are in the wars, that bunch at the moment. And Craig Sproston rounds out row 4. So, as they come out of the club chicane, I cannot even predict what kind of shenanigans we are going to see in this race today. We've had a fair old bit in the Superbikes. We had a hell of a lot in the Virgin Mobile. But this pales everything else into insignificance almost, I feel.
Well, one thing I've got to say, the last few years, 2 riders that have been really dominant in Supersport has been Carl Harris and Stuart Easton, both riders that master this Thruxton circuit. You've got to think that 749 Ducati makes nice power, makes smooth power, and that's something that lies well with the Thruxton circuit. The circuit here is not really bumpy, but it undulates fairly quickly everywhere. Very abrasive surface, but a very fast flowing circuit. And a bike that's really stable, a bike that's good through the fast sections, is one that will do well here. And you can see number 3, Stuart Easton, on that 749 Ducati. Big space there for sponsorship if you want to get on board. What a guys in pole position.
Yeah, what a team to get on board with. Then we're on board with them now, because this is about to leave for the second round of the British Supersport Championship. Down
Jay Vincent.
For the first time, Jay Vincent, but then it's Easton who sweeps over the top, and that looks like Craig Jones around the outside and Allard as well. Craig Jones in second place, I think, but it's Easton that leads on the Ducati at the moment. Jonesy up the inside of Jay Vincent. Vincent will be on the inside though as he gets to the complex, which is just the place you want to be if you're going to have to tough it out. Vincent though is forced back into 3rd place. I'm sure that's Jones in 2nd place that's come through from the outside of the grid. And as they head through Seagrave and on towards Noble,
Craig Jones is like a wound-up spring off the start. He's just full of energy. He just jumps off the start. Stuart Easton did what he did at Brands, got the whole shot, but Craig Jones is right behind him.
Just pinned it on the rev limiter and dumped the clutch, but it is Easton through this section of the track on that Ducati last year when he did the lap record. Absolutely wonderful. He just is so good through this section. And so's the bike, more importantly, I suppose.
Good combination, Keith. Craig Jones, good through chucks there, looking for the slipstream. Not quite close enough, but he's looking for a toe. But the 2 Paget Yamahas in 3rd and 4th.
Jonesy on the brakes here is going to be scary to watch.
Here we go for a shuffle.
Here we go.
Time for a reshuffle. Backing it in. That's not a problem for Craig Jones.
And he pulls it onto the line. Absolutely superb.
Yeah. Any other rider, I'd say, in Supersport, getting it that much sideways would have run wide, but Craig Jones doesn't care. He keeps leaning it in. Supermoto style. Absolutely brilliant. Great to see that Honda in front.
So Jonesy leads this race on lap 2 of the 20. A long way to go yet. The 2 Paget's Hondas are just sitting in there at the moment in formation behind Stuart Easton. Everything's got to settle down. Tyres are an issue as well here.
There's
big off into the complex.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Red Bull rookie bike.
Well, that must be Eugene then, if it's down. It's Frosty!
It's Frosty!
Rob Frost again! He's in there! Eugene Lavity gets one on the nose from Rob Frost.
It's not good, there's a marshal involved.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Bit of a familiar pattern there. It looks like Rob Frost is not taking the blame for that one.
What can we say?
He's injured, but he recovered briefly to throw a punch.
Rob Frost, he could throw a punch in his sleep. Julian Bull.
Meanwhile, Stuart Easton back in front. Jay Vincent 2nd. Craig Jones 3rd, and Leon Camier around the outside there. 19,
Julian Bull has got a ride-through penalty for a jump start. So Julian Bull, if you're watching the monitors back at home.
Leon Camier in 2nd, Jones 3rd.
Jones 3rd now. So it is Easton that leads from Camier in 2nd place. 2 youngsters duking it out. Leon Camier, vastly experienced, up from 125s. He's now about 3 inches taller than me when he was about 3 foot shorter than me just 3 years ago.
Jonesy, bit of a sideways moment there.
There's a shock.
Yeah, but normally backing in, it's normally on the brakes.
Yellow flag.
Into the complex. Yellow flag, that's where the Rob Frost Lavity incident took place.
The George Foreman corner of Thruxton. Through then Seagrave. I just love Rob Frost. You know, I'm thinking about sponsoring Rob Frost. He just lights up a track for me. Three, Stuart Easton.
There is never any shortage of action when Rob Frost's involved.
We shouldn't have any lights, you know, at the start of the race. We don't have a bell. Easton, Camia, Jones, Vincent. Top four going through.
Camia and Easton have been battling out here in practice to see who'd get the fastest lap. Stuart Easton getting the result after final qualifying, but these four pretty much away with it in the front. Look at the gap.
I'll tell you what, I'm just looking at the speed of the two Hondas at the back. North Point Honda, the Eccleston one, and Jay Vincent. Vincent, good slipstream there, but then again,
but watch Craig Jones. Watch Craig Jones.
Jay Vincent is not
outside,
but he's still on the
sideways.
line. Jay Vincent's too good for that. I don't think Jay Vincent's going to be mugged as easily as some of them. Now, going back to a bit of our commentary earlier on, I said about slipstreaming coming out of Church. Jay Vincent did it all right. He sat back a little bit through Church, got a slight bit of momentum on Craig Jones, and then duffed him up accordingly. Now, then held the line, wouldn't be intimidated through the chicane. Yeah.
Jay Vincent, the complete opposite of Craig Jones, likes both wheels in line, both braking and exiting the corners. And Jay Vincent, of course, done many years in 250 GPs, well used to being tucked in behind that bubble, well used to slipstreaming, and as you said, just timed Church perfectly. And now he's got to line up his teammate Leon Cammy in the next lap, and I'd expect more of the same treatment for Leon Cammy on the exit of Church.
1:17.631. That's a new lap record for Jay Vincent. Then Jay Vincent holds a lap record. Stuart Easton held the lap record, but I think Stuart Easton would give away the lap record if he won this race.
Craig Jones way wide there.
Yeah, Jonesy's got himself in a bit of trouble, hasn't he, Jonesy?
But Dunlop runners here, Stuart Easton on Dunlops, the two Padgets on Dunlops, and Craig Jones is the first Pirelli runner there in fourth position.
Eddie Roberts is going to be in here in a minute if you carry on like that. Down towards the club chicane, but I know what you're saying. Easton leads, Camia second, Jay Vincent menacingly in third place.
I thought I was doing well giving Pirelli a mention there. That was the main intention of that comment.
Okay, you read it your way, I'll read it mine. Through Allard. It's going to be interesting to see what Jonesy can do as the pace is up to even further. Camia 1:17.5 now. 1:17.5, a long way under the lap record. So Leon Camia.
6 seconds is the gap between Craig Jones in fourth and Tom Sykes in fifth.
Unbelievable. Then we got Jamie Robinson in sixth, Cal Crutchlow, Craig Jones, his teammate, in seventh, Perariba, World Supersport contender, in eighth place, and Kieran Murphy in ninth with Simon Andrews. Last year he's won a couple of these races in 10th place. That's how it looks at the moment. Best of the Supersports Cup is Sproston, back in 16th place on bike number 16. So Craig Sproston on the Team CSR Brit Tip bike. He's the leading privateer in this class. Within a class again.
I like Craig Sproston. He's a good little rider, really tidy rider.
Oh, look at Jay Vincent. Sorry to get across you there. Craig Sproston, I'm sure he's a great guy, but Jay Vincent again absolutely made that work for him. But look at Leon Camia on the brakes. Did the old boy over.
He really did. Stuart Easton doing it pretty much the hard way at the front here, just maintaining his lead. There's nothing in it though, and Jay Vincent is looking very dangerous.
John Butler has jumped off, but he's perfectly okay. So number 70, John Butler, has fallen out of the race. Oh, Jay Vincent with it waggling its head as he came through Allard. Oh, dear me.
Reckon Stuart Easton is going to be lined up in the exit of Church this lap.
I think Leon Camia and Stuart Easton. Camia probably more so. He's a real kid to be reckoned with. I don't think we've seen anything like the best of him. Stuart Easton had that dip last year, and that's the only reason why I slightly hesitate about Stuart Easton. I think he's a great young rider, but I think Camia, his future is slowly but surely. He's not made any mistakes. He doesn't have trouble with confidence as Stuart has had in the past. And I really rate Leon Camia quite highly. And I mean, these three, it's just a quality trio, isn't it? I mean, Jay Vincent. I wouldn't bet on Jay Vincent being beat by anybody in this kind of racing. Don't forget, he only came to Supersport. Oh, Jay Vincent, he wasn't going to get out of the throttle there, was he? He really did time the slipstream a little bit too finely. Got himself in it. He had to pull on the handlebars to get himself away from the rear end of Camia, and then went into a mild tank slapper at something like 140 miles an hour. Sure, he won't rattle him, but give yourself a shake, mate.
Yes, that CBR 600 certainly gave him a bit of a shake there. You can see him exit at Church just a little bit close to Jay Vincent. Had to change line, got some weight in the front of the bike, and that set everything off. It's a very fine line between going fast, keeping everything in line, and a bit of a nasty tank slapper.
Certainly he'll be clinching his rear end quite tightly after imagine. So Easton out front, and the Metabo British Supersports race. Oh, just a little sit-up from him and Leon Camia. Well, you have to have the feeling that it's only a matter of time before Camia whooshes past Stuart Easton. I don't think he's holding him up.
I think Stuart Easton's come back a better and stronger rider after his brief outing on superbikes that didn't work out in the ETI team last year. He's had to think about his racing. I think he's thought he really wants to be a racer, he wants to come back and make his mark, and I reckon he's got stiffer competition now than ever, and he's back and strong and leading.
So as we look at the main championship out front, these three, absolute synchronicity amongst them as they sweep through the fastest part of the course now and head towards that frightening dead stop chicane that is club chicane. There's a huge amount of fans there. Look at this.
No wobbles for Camia that lap.
Camia took a look at it. Well, that was all a bit tame, considering I was building it up so wonderfully, wasn't it? But we've got to think of the Supersports Cup as well. Craig Thruxton still leads out from number 22, Gary Johnson. That's how it's shaping up at the moment. We won't get a chance to look at them because he don't take our eyes off these three.
Bit of cat and mouse going on here now, there really is.
Here's Camia round the outside, maybe down into the complex. It looked from our camera angle he was a bit closer than that, but no, he did do it. He just had it rolling through Allard very, very neatly, and looked to me like he was on the right line for up the inside of Easton. Now, can he pull the pin? Can he pull away? We're going to wait and find out. This is a bit that we're going to see from Camia. Just how much has he got in hand? Looks good through there, I've got to say. Look at that all of a sudden. Jay Vincent is really going to have a follow-through, or he's going to be finishing behind his teammate Camia. The two Paget's bikes.
The two in front there, you can see Stuart Easton through Village there, grabbed a little bit back.
Yeah, that Ducati just sits nicely for him all the way through that.
You see just weaving around a little bit, trying to get some grip heading down to Church. He's maybe not the best through Church. Jay Vincent is the man through there, just lines up Stuart Easton, gets tucked in and tries to get in that slip.
Ducati's not slow though, is it? But you've got to say, Clive Paget and the team, they prepare good Hondas. Here we go again. He's got that thing so skittery on the front end, Jay Vincent. You know, that type of style, you want the motorcycle to turn for you when you lean it in. Jay Vincent sets his bike up, so therefore on the fast parts of the track, when you're having to snatch at the handlebars and all the rest of it, just makes the front so skittery.
Does make it a bit lively.
So Allard, again, got to Camia just a little bit out front. He has got to think where he's going to make the pass, and really, Stuart Easton is not really weak anywhere. You've got to really sort of eke out that opportunity to get past Stuart Easton.
You really have, but Stuart needs to be a bit closer. This is Leon Camia's strongest part of the circuit. He's good through here, good on the exit of Seagrave, but it's the exit of Noble, the next two corners coming up, this next left-hander, and the entry into Village where Stuart Easton manages to claw him back.
Just sits so nicely, that Ducati in the middle of that corner there, Noble, the left-hander, and the run into this. He's just able to have just a little bit of a tighter line all the way through and get back on the power. But this is where the two Hondas build up and build up. And like I say, Jay Vincent really is something special coming out of this next turn, Church. Watch how close he gets in. Gets a run at him as well. Good long run this time. Is he going to be able to find a way down the outside? Is he going to jink to the inside? Good slipstream there from Jay Vincent. If he's good on the brakes, he's going to have this situation sorted. But that Ducati's no slouch. No, Jay decides just better of it. I think it was because Easton is very smart on the early entry to that corner. He keeps it quite tight. And the only way is going to be round the outside for Jay Vincent. And I don't think Jay's comfortable of finding himself on the outside of that Ducati.
He certainly doesn't want to get in a position where he's hard on the brakes, hard on the front end, and the rear starts backing in. Jay likes to keep both wheels in line. There's still only half race distance to go, so there's still plenty of time. As long as he can keep his teammate in sight and lead there, there's still a chance of getting to the front. But it really has to be a thinking man's race, a real game of cat and mouse, and just be in the right position on the last lap.
Three of the most stylish riders in British Supersports, in fact in British racing I would say, from these three. They all have great styles of how to ride a motorcycle, and we are getting a real display from the three of them. Nothing dangerous about it if you rule out the fact they're travelling at 160 miles an hour.
You just watch the 749 Ducati just weaves through this section a little bit. Just struggling for grip.
The way I like it so neutral, it just sits on both wheels over the bumps, just both suspensions sit down at the same time, just looks so neutral in the middle of the turn. Tell you what though, Camia is quick out of Church, isn't he?
Good through Church.
Woodham Hill, up towards the club chicane. Again, Jay gets close enough, but, well, he's a little older than the two in front. Maybe just just weighing it up a little while for a moment.
A wily old fox.
Yeah, I mean, there could be two reasons for that. It could be that he's not prepared to stick his neck quite as far on the line as he's going to have to go underneath Easton at the chicane. But I can't see anywhere else where Jay Vincent is going to manage to get by.
Yeah, Stuart Easton struggles out of turn one now. You can see him opening the throttle, the rear end of the bike just sliding that little bit, losing a little bit of drive. The two Hondas don't seem to be sliding at all and hooking up nicely.
Well, they're all in the 1:17 seconds. In fact, these three are the fastest three men on the track every single lap, consistently. There's very little to take away from each of them. All with lovely styles, all with well-prepared motorcycles. And all three of them, incidentally, not with big budgets. It needs to be mentioned that we already spoke about Stuart Easton, and although it's entered by the Riders team, it's not actually, that's Riders of Bridgewater, it's actually not a big budget team, and they need a headline sponsor. And then the Paget's team, that's a self-financing situation from them. And I know that at one point it almost looked like they were going to lose Leon Camier because Camier couldn't bring any money into the team. They needed money to come into the team for Camier to be signed.
There's a reshuffle.
There is Easton from Camier. Maybe Jay Vincent needs a bit of a stint at the front, just to tow them all along a bit. That was almost done so neatly, you know, it's easy to ignore it.
How good a move it was. I'm sure ideally Leon Camier would have liked to have got a second or a couple of seconds gap just to be in control. This is where Stuart loses out a little bit of rear traction. It appears to me Stuart's bike's really good front end feeling. It turns really well, nice tight turns, but the trade-off is he loses a bit of rear traction, whereas the Hondas have got a really nicer looking balance.
But it's Stuart Easton that leads from Hoyt in Scotland, and of course Stuart Easton was likened many times to the late great Steve Hislop. I know we've mentioned him a bit in commentary because he was always close to our hearts, but Stuart Easton was a bit of a protege really of Steve Hislop. And I can think of one man that will be looking down thinking, that's my boy.
Three guys at the front. 17.8 for Easton on that last lap, 18.3 and 18.1 for Camier and Vincent respectively. The competition there in the 19s. Craig Johnson 4th position, Kieran Murphy, a good ride for him in 5th, and Jamie Robinson in 6th, exactly where he qualified. Andy
Weymouth on the Reflex Racing Yamaha has taken a bit of an off, but he's absolutely okay. So Andy Weymouth out of this race too, while I hold my breath at the chicane because Camier was running on in there quite hard. Lap 12 of 20, soon to start lap 13. Over the line then. Easton, Camier, Vincent, just half a second covers these three men. Camier is all over the rear end of Stuart Easton now, and he'll be looking for that run just up the little hill here into the complex, but just not quite able to get alongside Stuart Easton into the complex, although Camier is quicker. It's all going to be down, as is quite normal here at Thruxton, to be the chicane, isn't it? Stuart Easton's certainly got enough horsepower, and he's certainly good on the brakes, and that all adds up to a good run from Church up to final chicane. It's going to be down to, and I have to say in these circumstances, I find, whoa, this looks like a bit of a scrap going. Jamie Robinson in the middle of it on bike 77. Oh, Jamie Robinson around the outside. Cal Crutchlow then. Indeed, Cal Crutchlow on the other North Point Equerol bike. Look at the style of Cal Crutchlow. The bike sitting down at the rear end and skittering all over the place. That's Perry Reba, the Spaniard from the World Supersport Series here. Just goes to show you the quality of everything. Reba on bike 4, Crutchlow on bike 35, Jamie Robinson on bike 77. In front of them is Kieran Murphy and 18, Craig Jones. But this little scrap, someone's got their foot out there to indicate that please go around the outside of me because I'm scared. I'm scared sitting here watching. In fact, I'm not sure he has got his foot out. I think it's just a style. Maybe it's Kieran Murphy that's got a leg slightly trailing. You see the two Suzukis there of Andrews and Sykes. Whoa, look at that one of Jamie Robinson. Jesus, Jamie Robinson. That really is stomping on. 77 Jamie Robinson qualified in 6th place on the JR Motorsport Honda. Jesus, Jamie Robinson. Sorry, probably overdoing it a little bit, don't you feel? But I do like the guy, it's all right. I like the name. Okay. Mackenzie 1, Hewan 0. Actually, that's double Mackenzie here. I'm taking them from both the Mackenzies in this team at the moment. Ganging up, mate. I'm happy. Jamie Robinson, this is the best I've seen him ride in a while. For a long time. Yeah. Good to see. We know what he's capable of, and his limited budget always has an immaculate team. Really taken to this Honda and looking good, and great second race of the season, so that's a brilliant start for Jamie Robinson. Chasing Kieran Murphy on bike 98 in 5th place. This is the battle for 6th at the moment. Jamie Robinson holds that 6th place. Still Easton, Camier and Vincent out front. Craig Jones in a lonely 4th place, Kieran Murphy likewise in a lonely 5th place, and then it's this little